Just cancel it. Cancel the whole thing at this point. Just cancel the whole thing. I'm being serious. Like, I'm being serious. No, first they said 2023, then they said 2024, and now they're saying 2026. Do you see?
It looks like Zendaya is ready to bring back the glitter, despite Sam Levinson claiming that her schedule is the reason that season 3 of Euphoria keeps getting postponed.
Y'all, the drama around Euphoria season 3 is boiling over, and fans are officially fed up. Word on the street being that Zendaya herself might be the reason for the holdup, and the frustration is real. How Euphoria went from being the most talked about show to something fans are starting to clown on is honestly something that needs to be studied on how to fail successfully. It's the kind of downfall you don't see every day. But that's not all, because Zendaya just clapped back, and her side of the story might surprise you. She came clean in a Vanity Fair interview, and now all eyes are on the show's lead writer, Sam Levinson. Grab your snacks, because we need to talk about what's really going on behind the scenes.
So the streets are saying that Euphoria is canceled. To say I am shocked is a complete lie. We didn't know this show was not coming back, but HBO kept telling us, no, we're coming back. We're gonna come back. We know everyone's busy, but they're gonna come back.
First off, let's start with the accusations. People were claiming, well, not people, but Sam Levinson had people hating on Zendaya after he claimed that she was the reason season 3 dragged for almost 3 years now. A source close to Euphoria creator Sam Levinson told The Hollywood Reporter in July it was all about Zendaya. Everyone wanted to make it about Sam, but it was her. The story also stated that Zendaya's once close relationship with the controversial showrunner 39 had cooled down, which caused him to resent her. And so for the longest time, we thought Zendaya had been too busy flexing her film career to care about Euphoria. And if you really think about it, it all seemed true, because Zendaya had been killing it with projects like Dune Part 2 and Challengers, so naturally fans started connecting dots and blaming her packed schedule for the delays. Until Zendaya came out, hit pause on all that noise, and made it clear that it was not her. She legit said she hasn't even been on a set in 2 years. I will say I have been off for a couple of years, so not delayed because of my schedule. I've been open, just waiting. The actress told Vanity Fair with a laugh in an interview. Zendaya also acknowledged that she was indeed preoccupied with 2 major movies, Dune Part 2 and Challengers, but she filmed both in 2022, so what was the excuse? Because it definitely wasn't her. Still on Euphoria, Zendaya said that she hadn't read anything yet, but was excited to see what everyone had been working on and what the future looked like for Euphoria. Turns out the entire time Zendaya has just been sitting there waiting like the rest of us. Zendaya even admitted something we rarely hear from A-listers, saying she's been feeling rusty, like imposter syndrome rusty. She said there were moments she thought, can I even do this anymore? Girl, what? You've won 2 Emmys for this role. If Zendaya is doubting herself, what hope do the rest of us have? Just see what Euphoria drama did to Zendaya. Fans are in their feelings though too. With no script in her hands yet and the production always being postponed, a lot of people have made peace with the fact that the show was good while it lasted. One fan wrote, at this point, Rue is gonna be 30 by the time we see her again. And honestly, the math isn't mathing for anyone who's waited this long for updates. But here's where it gets messy. Reports from The Hollywood Reporter dropped some major tea, saying it wasn't just her schedule, it was all about Zendaya. Allegedly, there's some tension brewing between her and Sam Levinson, the show's creator. Word on the street, their working relationship might have hit a cold patch, and let's be real, that doesn't scream smooth production vibes. Zendaya didn't directly spill on any of that drama, but her energy in the Vanity Fair interview was clear that she was ready to get back to work and was still committed to Rue, still passionate about the story, and just like that, Zendaya spinned the story and fans started rooting for her again.
Zendaya just clapped back at Euphoria creator Sam Levinson after he blamed her for the season 3 delays. Back in July, a source close to Sam Levinson told The Hollywood Reporter that Zendaya was the one that he felt was, and I quote, dragging their feet on the production of season 3 because of her successful booming career outside of the show.
Now, moving on to the meat, cause the main issue here is how Euphoria has lost its spark, the hype fading, and the sheer confusion around season 3. Like I said, there is a lot to unpack, so get some more popcorn cause we're about to get deep into the rabbit hole. Oh, by the way, in case you're forgetting how twisted this story is, remember Euphoria premiered in June 2020 2019 with much success, but has not aired a new episode since February 2022. HBO repeatedly postponed production on the 8-episode third season, which was said to feature a time jump so that Zendaya and her co-stars, including Jacob Elderoy and Sydney Sweeney, are no longer playing high school students, before announcing in July that shooting would finally begin at the end of 2025.
All right, y'all, it's been a minute, but we're back in it. After all this time. After waiting for what feels like an eternity, it's officially been announced that Euphoria Season 3 is supposed to start filming early next year, January 2025. And apparently they're going all out and everybody in the main cast is supposed to return. But I think at this point, the biggest question is, do we even still want it?
Interestingly, people have talked about Euphoria Season 3 so much, and yet it's not even out. And no one is even sure that it will be. But yeah, we have to talk about how Euphoria Season 3 is turning into the messiest production saga in Hollywood. Like, what are they even doing over there? How hard is it to write these scripts? And to think that Season 3 is literally just 8 episodes, it's been years since Season 2. And now we're hearing that they won't even start filming until 2025. Between Sam Levinson's shady creative decisions and the cast barely having time to breathe with their currently packed schedules, this show is falling apart faster than Fezco's storyline in Season 2. And don't even get me started on the Barbie, Furia, and Sam drama that left Kat's character dead in the water. Like, how do you fumble such an iconic storyline that hard? We all know Barbie ain't coming back, but we also know that there was more to their disagreement than just creative differences, as they tried to put it. One of the main concerns after Season 2 aired was just how underdeveloped Kat's role was. Like, her plot didn't make sense considering who she was built to be in Season 1. Oh, and the so-called time skip they're teasing? Bet it's just an excuse to keep the actors from looking out of place as high schoolers, but they forgot that with these kind of delays, even their fans will have graduated college by the time Season 3 hits our screens. Imagine waiting 3 or 4 years just to watch Rue cry about Jules again. Nah, I'm good. Also, let's pour one out for the characters who won't be returning, like Fezco, R.I.P., and probably a few side faves who the production couldn't keep around. It's also unclear whether Dominic Fike's character Elliot will be returning based on the dissatisfaction he expressed over his time in Season 2, so now we are left with the main cast being Zendaya as Rue, Hunter Schafer as Jules, Jacob Elderoy playing Nate, Sydney Sweeney as Cassie, Alexia Demi playing Maddie, Storm Reed playing Gia, and finally Maud acting as Lexi. So we're looking at 7 main characters still in the mix, which coincidentally just so happens to match the usual 7 to 8 episode count for Euphoria. Don't be surprised if each episode focuses on a different character's messy life, with the final one bringing all the chaos together for some big dramatic conclusion. I don't know about y'all, but the producers will have to pull heaven and earth to so much as attempt Euphoria Season 4. They kind of did something similar in the last season, but if this is really the final round for Euphoria, with all the behind the scenes drama and the cast's exploding careers, it would be their perfect chance to wrap this up without completely losing the plot. As of now, we are stuck with a skeleton crew of the main cast trying to hold this shaky ship together. It's giving desperation, not anticipation. Don't even get me started on Sam Levinson's eyebrow-raising intentions, cause things really went down south after the disaster that was The Idol. It's hard to trust him with anything, let alone a show that fans loved and invested in emotionally. Word is that he wasn't supposed to take a major production role in The Idol, but he did, and even altered the whole script to satisfy his alleged questionable guilty pleasures with women. And not only did The Idol face a shit ton of controversy, as Sam was busy poking his nose where he wasn't needed, he was causing downtime on Euphoria almost 4 years later, and still nothing.
The Idol is now officially rated lower than the Cats movie by critics. Now, I'm the first one to tell you that critics' ratings don't matter. But for the sake of argument, here were the critics' ratings for Euphoria Season 1 and Season 2. Now, everything I have heard about this show since Sam Levinson took over has been terrible. Like, beyond terrible, to the point that I'm not gonna watch this show, personally. Here are some of the critics' comments that they're making about it after watching the first 2 episodes at Cannes. The Idol is grim, gross, and vulgar. It's full of preposterous recycled ideas and that would be at home with HBO's Cinemax, not the main HBO, which we know loves Emmy Awards. Nasty, brutish, much longer than it is, and way worse than you'd have anticipated. These go on and on. Okay, I'm not gonna read them.
Well, according to HBO, Euphoria Season 3 is allegedly still happening, but honestly, at what cost? It's already 2025 and production hasn't started yet. Not only that, but even the actors haven't seen the scripts. You know what? Just let it go. It was good while it lasted. Hollywood can keep trying to hype this mess, but it's looking like Euphoria might go out with a whimper instead of a bang. But let's put all the basic updates aside for a sec, because the real tea about Euphoria Season 3 comes from a brutal expose by The Hollywood Reporter. This piece didn't just spill, it poured everything out about the messy behind-the-scenes drama with Euphoria and The Idol, all under Sam Levinson's so-called creative vision. In a twist of events, this article exposed not just the show, it's also about the chaotic state of Hollywood right now and what a mess this is for the future of Euphoria and film production in general. Spoiler alert, it's not looking cute. In this article, Sam Levinson gets called out for allegedly creating downright toxic and uncomfortable work environments. So to really understand why Euphoria Season 3 is crawling at a snail's pace, we need to break down Sam Levinson's chaotic timeline from 2022 to 2024. According to the expose, Levinson had a ride or die partner in his projects, a close friend named Kevin Turin. But in 2023, Kevin tragically passed away, which would obviously shake anyone to their core. But here's where it gets messy. Despite how tight they supposedly were, the article claims Levinson and his wife were straight up banned from attending Kevin's memorial. Like, imagine being that close to someone and still not being welcome to say goodbye. The whole situation is just weird, and obviously a bit too telling. The Turin family had made it clear that Sam and his wife Ashley were not welcome at the funeral. The article goes back further to talk about a falling out between Sam Levinson and Kevin Turin before his tragic passing. Allegedly, Levinson cut ties with Turin, which not only ended their close friendship and partnership, but also tanked a potential deal with HBO. And here's where it gets even messier. The article strongly hints that the fallout added extra stress on Turin, leading to overwork and eventually contributing to his health issues. Out of respect for Turin and his family, we are not diving into every gritty detail, but if you want full info, feel free to check it out. Still, a source close to both men described Turin as outgoing, fun-loving, and nothing like Levinson. According to them, Turin wasn't or a yeller, while Levinson was painted as this aloof, narcissistic artiste. The source claims people resented Sam for a lot of reasons, but never Kevin, which already gives you a glimpse of the dynamics at play. Honestly, when you line this up with all of the rumors about Levinson being impossible to work with, it is no surprise that things were not adding up behind the scenes in Euphoria. For years now, headlines have been circulating about people allegedly feeling some type of way working with Sam Levinson. Word on the street is that people in the writer's room felt like he ran a one-man show, making it all about his vision. Apparently, his so-called writer's room was just him, which raised eyebrows about the lack of diverse voices and depth in the narratives, a critique that's been following him for a while, and we can clearly see how this affected Euphoria. The article also spills some serious whispers on the supposed fallout between Levinson and Zendaya. Once super close, like hanging out at his house all the time close, things reportedly took a turn when Zendaya began distancing herself, and let's just say, Levinson allegedly didn't take it well. The piece paints him as someone who doesn't just ruin relationships, but completely nukes them, both personally and professionally. Probably it's important to mention that this article's tone is clearly anti-Sam Levinson. It practically echoes the very harsh takes we've been seeing about him online over the years, with several sources accusing Sam of basically being unpleasant to be around, which, if true, kind of explains why season 3 of Euphoria has been stuck in limbo. If you ask me, this just adds more fuel to the fire of why Sam Levinson stays at the center of all of this drama. Word is that Sam Levinson's either unnecessary engagements like his unwanted input on The Idol completely derailed Euphoria's production to the point where Zendaya herself had to step in and call a meeting with HBO execs. Let's pause for a sec. Imagine being so out of pocket that Zendaya, the chillest person alive, has to pull up and go straight to your boss. That's wild. The article claims she was basically like, something's gotta give because the vibes on set, not it. But wait, it gets messier. Remember the infamous con debut of The Idol? The one where Sam Levinson, The Weeknd, and Lily Rose Depp got caught up in chaos over the film's production? Guess who wasn't there? Kevin Turin. Even though he was an executive executive producer and literally the guy who pitched the idol to Levinson, he wasn't invited after the fallout. That is not all. The article spills that Zendaya allegedly told HBO execs she didn't want Ashley Levinson, Sam's wife, as an executive producer for Euphoria season 3. Apparently, a lot of people on set felt the same way, thinking Ashley enabled Sam's chaotic behavior. Without his ex-creative partner to balance him out, people are saying that Sam was setting himself and the whole show up for disaster. At this point, the behind-the-scenes mess is almost more chaotic than the show itself. And even if Zendaya is over it, you know it's bad. Once again, this just adds to the overall chaos surrounding the situation, making it even clearer why everything has felt so uncertain for so long. Like, we all knew season 3 would be hard to pull together. Everyone in the cast has crazy busy schedules. It's not just Zendaya. We're talking about Jacob Elderoy and Sydney Sweeney too, whose careers have absolutely blown up with major film and TV roles. What's wild though is how the blame here seems to get placed squarely on Zendaya. That is definitely an eyebrow raiser because in the same article they talk about the other co-stars in a much more positive light. For example, Sydney Sweeney is described as being excited to come back, with sources close to her saying she's ready to dive back into Euphoria under Sam Levinson's direction, even though the delays apparently cost her some major paychecks. She's reportedly a big fan of Sam and his work. Meanwhile, Jacob Elderoy's stance is portrayed as a little more whatever. The article suggests that he's distant and not particularly eager about a return, but that doesn't come as a surprise given that Jacob's made it clear in past interviews how he feels about Euphoria.
Do you want to see Having a Nate in season 3?
I'd like to see him come of age, because I think I'm getting old. I fear I'm growing too old for high school.
You want to graduate?
Yes.
What does Nate do when he graduates? He just goes into family business?
Maybe he has like a farm. Maybe he just leaves it all behind and he starts making his own goods.
Him.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly a shocking revelation. Still, the way this piece subtly throws shade at Zendaya while painting her co-stars in a different light is suspicious at best. Alright, so here's the deal. Everyone's been speculating about what Euphoria season 3 could even look like, especially with such a huge gap between seasons. Is there gonna be a time skip? Are they picking up right where they left off? Nobody knows for sure, and apparently for the longest time, neither did the production team. Apparently Sam Levinson's first idea for season 3 was to have Rue as a private detective. Rue, the former addict, solving crimes. Both HBO and Zendaya reportedly shut that down real quick, but Zendaya's pitch wasn't much better. According to the article, she suggested Rue could become a surrogate mother, which, also didn't go anywhere. This whole back and forth brainstorming mess is allegedly what's bringing Zendaya and Sam closer together, if you believe the rumors, but honestly, all I'm getting is that season 3 has been absolute chaos to put together, and most people are dying to know what we're actually going to get out of this. Like, will it be a complete 180 from season 2, more of the same, or an upgraded version? The few who are still patiently waiting for season 3 just hope that whatever alleged drama is going down behind the scenes doesn't end up affecting the characters or the story the way that Barbie Fioria's situation did in season 2. Anyway, that's where we'll leave it for now, but y'all, there is so much riding on this season, and it better deliver. That's it, loves. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm curious to know what you think about all of this. Do you think season 3 is going to live up to the hype, or is this behind the scenes mess gonna derail it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to keep it locked right here for all of the latest updates on your favorite celebrities and influencers. Catch y'all in the next one.